Check out the Seriously Informal podcast on SoundCloud and YouTube. Links are in the description. Today I want to talk to you about the fact that some of you may already know that my wife and I are expecting a child. We've created a monster. Now don't congratulate me on the fact that we're having a baby. Congratulate me for finding somebody who is willing to put up with me for my lifetime, for the rest of my life, for the rest of our life. Somebody who is willing to make a baby with me. Now, as we are only about a month and a half away from the due date of the baby, and she will most likely be induced early due to medical conditions that we are currently dealing with, I figured it's probably time. How the frick did I say figured? Figured? Feige? I figured it's probably time for me to do some research, because I've been flying blind this whole time. This is partially because I've been waiting for so long for GTA to download the 72.3 gigabyte download file. It's a little much. Rockstar, make smaller games, please. In doing my research, I came across an article I came across a long time ago, June of last year, when I started actually researching baby. I was kidding. I've done a little bit of digging. I've done a little bit of reading up on baby stuff, and wow, just some really stupid stuff out there. In June, apparently, this is when this became a big deal. Now, this one woman captured America with her display of brilliance in raising her child to avoid them being a rapist by not ever touching their baby without their baby's permission. I'm not kidding. If you're not aware, this is a real thing. Why this mom always asks her baby's permission before picking him up. Now, I know what you're thinking. But how's the baby tell her, okay, pick me up, mama? He doesn't. She feels the emotional response from the baby, who doesn't understand words, when she says, should I pick you up? Do you want me to pick you up? Or, would you like to come up? Should I put you in my arms? Do you want me to pick you up? And she waits until she feels like she gets a yes. Now, I'd imagine that this kid may have had many infections due to, not giving permission to change his diaper. Now, honey, I'm not gonna change your diaper until you give me permission. All right, I guess you're just gonna sit there with a stinky bum. Man, your crib really needs to be changed, but until you give me permission to take you out of your crib and change your diaper, I can't clean your crib or your bum bum. Look, you haven't eaten in 3 days. You should probably let me feed you, but if you're not gonna give me permission, that's fine. Honestly, it's so asinine. One mom is teaching her infant how to respect the human body in a unique way. Unique should be in quotes there. Before picking up her 6-month-old son, Raven Nishamoodley, a mother of 1 in San Francisco, always asks his permission. Why? Because we want him to know that his body is his, and others' bodies are theirs, and no one gets to make choices about someone else's body. You legally are supposed to make choices about your child's body until they're old enough to make decisions of their own, because they don't know what they freaking need. Babies don't understand English. I don't know if you've been taught this growing up, but babies, they don't know languages. So the actual post is, since the moment he was born, we've always asked him before picking him up. I always feel for his yes. Why? Because, and it goes on the same thing, is because we want him to know his body's his and their body are theirs. Hashtag lessons in sovereignty. High and mighty. It's a really high and mighty sounding thing. Let me click on that. Oh, look at that. She's the only person. Let's look up the word sovereignty. Supreme power or authority. The authority of a state to govern itself or another state. A self-governing state. Wait, the authority of a state to govern itself or another state. Lessons in sovereignty. So they're saying that the baby is a state that gets to control itself. Even though technically the way they use it here, the word could also be applied to the parent who is in charge of the baby. So I don't know which one they're trying to say. A state with supreme power over themselves and potentially another state. You know, like a parent who is in charge of their own body and potentially their child's. Hashtag born free. So I'm guessing this is one of those roaming babies where they let them just kind of go wherever they want to. They won't tell them no ever. And they will just suggest to them why maybe something's not a good idea. No, honey, you shouldn't play with that knife. You don't seem like you're responding to my English. When are you going to learn English? You need to learn English so we can converse about what is right and wrong. I will never punish you. That was the cat's tail. You shouldn't have cut that off. Please put the knife down. The final one is end rape culture, because she seems to believe that as a child, not touching the child will lead to not being a rapist. I said that as a joke, but she thinks that's going to contribute to it. If this is a thing throughout the childhood and throughout the young adult period of time, the child will probably not have a proper correlation between physical touch. They might even grow up longing for physical touch because they didn't really get hugs and things like that when they were younger, unless they specifically went up to you and said, "Mom, can I have a hug? Mom, can I have a hug?" There's a certain amount of nurturing that, if it's not done, could lead to problems that you're trying to avoid. Side note, if you ever want to hold someone else's baby, my suggestion is to ask the parent, then ask the kid. It always touches my heart when someone takes a moment to connect with him and says, "Can I hold you, dude?" Who walks up to a baby and says, "Can I hold you, dude?" Did they ask the parent the gender first? Is that like, did they ask them the gender first and then said, "Yeah, it's a boy. Yes, it's a boy. You can hold it." If the baby says yes, you can hold it. So here's my main issue with this entire... All right, 1 second. Okay, buddy, I'm coming. I'm coming. Don't worry. What's the matter? Oh man, I don't know how do you open this thing? I don't understand. Buddy, you alright? You want me to pick you up? No, I can't tell what you want. You want your pacifier? You want your binky? You want that? Let me go wash it first. I don't want to. I can't tell if you want it or you. You know what? There you go. You can put it in your own mouth. There you go. I don't want to touch you if you don't want to be touched. No, stop, please. No, I don't want to touch you if you don't want to be touched. Come on. Okay, you want this? You want this? You want your teddy? No, you want your teddy? Yeah. Okay. You want to hand it to you? What? I don't want to encroach on your personal space. Here. There you go. Okay, is that better? You like that? Is that good? Is that good? You like the teddy? You like the teddy? Oh, that's not it. That's not it, is it? Oh, crap. Where's Allison when you need her? Is it your diaper? You need your diaper changed? You smell like you might need your diaper changed, but you always smell like that. I don't want to pick you up and put. I don't want to. That's very close to your genitalia. If you don't want me to touch you, like to wipe, I don't want to do. Here, change it. Go ahead. Put your underwear on. Look, buddy, I really don't want you to grow up with the wrong idea that you can touch people when they don't want to be touched. So you really need to give me your permission to do whatever it is you want me to do. Please, just tell me, just give me your permission. Look, I know you're too young to understand this, but if I don't get your permission to pick you up, you'll grow up thinking that you can just touch anybody whenever you want, and then you'll become a rapist, and I don't want that for you. Okay, I'm skipping a lot here because it seems like even though this post was originally on June 9th, and the article was a few days later, it looks like after the article came out, she adjusted it, and because this was embedded here, it updated here as well. Because when I read it before, this was not part of it. I'm skipping a lot of it, but basically, at some point in here, where is it? Some have assumed that I never touch my baby without his explicit consent. That's not what I'm saying. I love my son. I would never sit back and leave him in harm's way. It's my honor and responsibility to care for him in all the ways a mother would. I also talk to him. I ask him questions, and I attune to him in the beginning of a lifelong conversation about choice and consent. I believe that when children feel they have some appropriate choice, it leads to a greater sense of healthy autonomy. I want him to make healthy choices with his body and respect others as well. I am by no means saying that people are bad parents for not doing that, so long as we are not harming or neglecting our children. To each their own. I'm not a perfect parent. I'm simply working at being loving and conscientious as I can be every day. So I didn't really know what to make this week, and this is just something that kind of popped up into my mind while we've been dealing with a lot of issues with Allison's health regarding the baby this week, and our own personal beliefs on how we need to treat raising our child. And I no hate towards the woman. I just think it's funny. I think it's very strange and very, I don't want to say misinformed, because she has her own opinion based on her own understanding. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to like if you liked it, and I'll see you guys next time.